Was it now? And then you solve. Okay, don't need this. Here's a key. Well, you were soloing away. You were soloing. That's good. What's that? Besame?
Weeks ago.
Oh, we done. We
Besame.
got back.
And then Greensleeves.
Well, we moved to Maui, and then we escaped the aftermath.
Thanks, Terry.
Libby will tell you about it next week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clean this up.
Yeah, I think we're about to start.
Yeah.
Good morning. I think we're going to start the service now. So if you'd all like to take your perfect seats, your perfect position, your perfect minds, being as comfortable as you can. Glad to see you all here today. I've been off island for a few months, and I'm glad to be back. My name is Stephen Goss, and I'm your facilitator for today. The harp music is given to us by Simber Lily Quinn, a gifted harpist extraordinary. She's an award-winning musician. And remind me again, Kathy.
Just Kathy.
Just Kathy. Just plain old Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. The flute's wonderful sounding. ZettElyss Amora is our guest speaker today, and she'll be speaking to us about moving energy out of our heads and minds and into our hearts and bodies. And I'll be introducing ZettElyss more fully later in the program. While everybody gets settled, if our musicians could just play us another short session,
Sure.
appreciate it.
Nature Boy, not Greensleeves. Let's do Green.
Thank you. Thank you. Music is so calming. We need that calming what's happening around the world these days. I'd like to start out today's service with some time dedicated to listening to the silence within. First, I'd like to say thank you for everybody that showed up early, the usual suspects that help set things up, and like Pasha and Patty Wall for the beautiful lay, for our guest speaker, for Paul Mackay for masterminding the sound equipment today, and all that she does, and all the rest of you. So this would be a good time to silence our electronic devices. Usually I'm the one that forgets and it goes off at the most inappropriate times, but I think we can all agree the world seems to be a bit crazy and hopped up right now. So maybe we can collectively realize that this universe, this life, this divine order is still happening. It's still in charge, no matter what the appearance is. So let's just spend a moment knowing and trusting the fact that that is what's really so. First, a short quote from Rumi to set the mood for the meditation. I searched for God and found only myself. I searched for myself and found only God. And I'll ring the chimes to bring us back to the room. And take a deep breath as we come back to this room, knowing that the truth is what's really true. In this part, I'm supposed to say a little bit about what New Thought stands for or what we're doing here. Of course, that's different for everybody. Basically, New Thought is based on the science of mind and the teachings of Ernest Holmes. And it's a way of thinking, collective way of thinking, to recognize that we are all connected somehow. Absolutely. That I am you and you are me and we are them and they are us. It sounds kind of simple, doesn't it? But it's actually very difficult to fully understand that and make it a reality. At least I find it difficult sometimes. It seems like, oh, that person can't be me. No way. It's like, but all the spiritual religions and the traditions that have ever been are teaching the same thing in different words, in different ways. And that is how you perceive the world is really how you are just perceiving yourself. because the world is yourself, because it's all you. So I know it's hard enough for me just being myself, much less everybody else at the same time. So just be yourself, because you know everybody else is already taken anyway. I would like to call on the musicians again. I know it's a little extra work or pleasure for you, but if you could play us another short session.
So this morning we're going to play a selection of music for you from Queen Lily of Kalani. And these are tunes you probably have never heard because they don't get played very often. The first one is Ahi Lama Kani, which means there is a breath. So I invite you to focus on your breath as we're playing this music.
Wow. Thank you. And welcome to everybody who just showed up more recently. We're glad that you're here. Another little quote from an anonymous source is, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because they are you." It actually makes sense if you ponder it. In this part of the program, we're going to do miracles and ordinaries. I'm always trying to define or understand actually what is a miracle. And the Course in Miracles says, if you really understand something, it means you see it in the light. It's clear. Mostly we think a miracle is something that occurs out of the ordinary. Then when we look more closely, we see even all the ordinary things are actually a miracle. I think that perhaps a miracle is like when we're stumbling around in the dark, we suddenly have a bit of light and you can understand, you can see. So the question is today, who would like to share a miracle or a bit of light that they saw in their lives? Liza, one of these days I'll get it.
Okay, so what Josh was talking about.
Good one.
We are all one. And when I was in Findhorn, Scotland, there was a bunch of books that were by the masters. And I won't tell you the whole prayer, but it starts out, we thank you, God, for life and light abundant, full and free, for perfect health, wealth, power, and unhampered liberty. First thought of God, bring into your body temple of God, because all humanity is the true God being. And it goes on, but that's the main thing. We are all God, and we are all Josh. So, Pasha asked me last night, I read it late last night, to come take photos of Libby, who will be our speaker next Sunday. And I'm like, I got stuff to do. I got laundry. I got blah, 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 no. And I went, okay, fine, whatever. Sorry. And so anyway, so the opportunity out of that, the miracle out of that is my baby brother is having heart surgery tomorrow. And so I would just like to see if anybody be willing to make a prayer for him for his heart surgery. That's it. That's why I'm really here. Sorry, Libby. Thank you, Pasha. Mahalo.
Ooh, somebody's tall. Wow. So, Liza, thank you for bringing that up. You're about the fourth person in line for prayers for things that are happening today, tomorrow, and this next week. So what I would like to do, and this would be a miracle for me because it's dear to my heart, is that we reinstitute the prayer circle at the end of our service so that we can all stand in the light for everyone that needs our prayers. I know that Sarah, a lot of you know Sarah, she's currently in Colorado with her sister who has chosen to leave the planet. And so she's in that process right now. And so Sarah's there with her. And so just sending them all love and healing and open-heartedness and all of that. Tomorrow, Faith is having dental surgery and she's going to be out for 2.5 hours. And I'm really, really nervous. So I'd really love prayer support for that as well. So yeah, so if we could just all do that at the end, that would make my day very happy. Okay.
So it's what happens when you wear so many hats. So you're going to be leading it at the end?
I can.
The prayer thing. would be better. And Thank you, Liza. I'll never forget Liza again. And thank you for the Josh jest. So don't be shy. There are other people who'd like to share coming up.
Pretty well. I don't need a microphone.
But they won't hear you online if you don't use the mic.
My name is Lynn, and I'm down here. Anyway, I wanted to just it's so mundane compared to the other more ethereal and faith-driven miracles, but I just wanted to have gratitude for the closure for myself. 14 months ago, my condominium was flooded from the people upstairs, and as of this week, I have come to completion with the insurance part of it. So it looks beautiful, and I've learned so much about insurance and everything about building in the last 14 months, and I have so much gratitude for that process and for the closure that I have with that.
Good morning. I'm Sally. I was at the triathlon yesterday because the hostel downtown that I'm involved with had quite a few athletes and volunteers and support people from the various different athletes. We had somebody from Brazil, Argentina, Vietnam, the United States, and Canada. So it was really fun. We had a great day. And I was down there. I watched the swim, got up super early, so I get a good parking space downtown. But it was very interesting because I was watching the bicycle riders, and I looked over, and there's this woman with Scottsdale Tri Team or something on her shirt. And I walked over, I said, "Oh, you're from Arizona." She goes, "Yeah, I'm here watching these people." And the person that she was cheering for, she's like, "There goes Kim Robb." And I said, "Who?" And she said, "Kim Robb." And it's somebody I went to school with. And I couldn't believe it. So I'm in touch with her a lot. She did not know I was living in Hawaii. She thought I was still in Alaska. And so I ended up connecting with her, and we're going to have dinner tonight. So this is a young woman that I was in grad school with, and she was very into biking, biked in Europe and all these things, but I had no idea she was a triathlete now. So that's a miracle for me. Small world came around on Palani Road. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Maybe serendipitous and miracles are an acronym for each other. Please come on up. Don't be shy. There's room for everybody. And maybe tell us your name when you speak.
Hi, my name is Megan. So last week somebody broke into my apartment and tried to assault me while I was there, but he didn't. And I got him out of my apartment, and the police found him and arrested him. And nothing happened. I'm okay. And then so I just had so many people from the community kind of like open up to me and help me heal and support me. And I ran into a friend who opened up a healing service to me, and we just spent like the whole day breathing and moving through all the scary feelings. We went to the beach, so I just feel like so safe and okay. Even though that happened, I just feel like, yeah, the miracle was like, I'm okay, I'm safe, right? It didn't like tear me down, bring me down. Like I'm okay in my body, in my apartment. So yeah, that was my miracle.
Thank you for sharing that. That's must have been an intense experience. I'm glad that you came through it so well. We have time for another, if any of you are inspired to get up here. Or you can just sing and dance. I don't. Okay, it looks like I'll be introducing our guest speaker a few minutes early. I'm sure she can handle it. ZettElyss Amora, which translated, boy, this mic is really sensitive Now, it's better. ZettElyss Amora means sweet love. And she's discovered numerous and simple, effective ways to maintain a healthy lifestyle, which balances natural as well as artificial influences in order to live more fully. I think I like Pasha's introduction better. So she's a yoga educator. She's began teaching in 2001 after certification as an integrative yoga therapist with Joseph LePage. She's also studied with Amy Cooper, director of MT Shasta Yoga Institute. She's been teaching yoga classes for 20 years and Tai Chi for 10 years to people of all ages. In addition to yoga, she offers Tai Chi, Qigong, massage, aromatherapy, hypnotherapy, strength training. I thought she looked in pretty good shape. And Reiki, all of which she may synthesize into her classes. She lives in Waimea and now teaches many classes at Tutu's house in Waimea, which sounds like an incredible place where good people come to present and without getting paid and give workshops and talks and classes and all that stuff. And it's in Waimea. That world needs more of that today. ZettElyss was born in North Hollywood and spent 30 years going along or romping along the coastal areas of Southern California. She split California for Idaho, Colorado, and the Big Island and Southern Oregon, and recently has moved back to the Big Island for the second time. A mermaid at heart, she relishes her early morning ocean swims. Om Shanti. Now I would like to introduce ZettElyss. Don't forget your mic. If you can find that little switch. Left side or whatever's, okay, yeah.
It's my first time in a headset.
On? Yep, I hear it now. How's it? How's the volume? Okay, back there? Okay.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, hope it doesn't slip and slide. Feels, thank you. Is it Josh or Stephen? I'm confused now. Before I launch, because I might go into time. Yes. I could call you me, right? Thank you. Before I launch, because then I can go into timelessness. Do you still want me to go to 11:15 or just half an hour? No later than, okay, somewhere in that. Okay. Before I go into any words, because I find that words don't teach as effectively as direct experience. If you're all willing, and if you're not willing, just hang out and do your own thing. But I'd love to guide you through an embodiment practice. So there's some simple steps, and follow along. Please uncross your legs if they're crossed. Even if they're in lotus position, I want you to really ground. So settle down into your feet comfortably. Relaxation is key. You can't do this wrong. And relaxation is what really emphasizes and enhances the experiences that I'm going to offer you today. So next, we'll just relax the hands. Some people like their palms to face up. It's more relaxed that way. Other people prefer palms down. So it's up to you. Follow your own impulses. Up or down, either way is good. But relax your fingers. Close your eyes if they're open. And soften the muscles around your eyes and your face. Again, relaxation is key. One of the main keys for enhancing our experiential awareness in our bodies. And be aware that you're breathing. Notice the movement through the openings of your nostrils without any need to change or control the breath. Let the breath breathe you. Feel yourself sinking into the natural rhythm. Moisten your mouth, maybe clear your throat if it needs to. And then lick your lips and move your tongue around your mouth and your teeth. And then relax that. And then swallow a few times. Just a few slow movements in the throat to wake up your awareness in the windpipe, the opening of the trachea, the back of the throat. And then you can relax that and let your jaw hinge soften enough that you feel like your lower jaw is almost hanging, so your teeth aren't touching, but your lips are just barely closed, just the tiniest opening between them. So there's no pressure. There's a relaxed feeling throughout your mouth and your tongue. So important for releasing energy, releasing any constriction in the body, is keeping the mouth and jaw soft. So you're setting yourself up for your energy to flow optimally through your body. And in the Tai Chi principles that I follow along with, we bring energy up. Energy is always starting for us here on the earth, from the ground. So bring your awareness all the way from your brain, which we often think of as our consciousness, but really consciousness is in the entire body. So take your awareness all the way down there to the soles of your feet. And if you can't really get a sense of that, well, just imagine or pretend, because that works too. And then slowly start to bring your heels up off the ground. And as you do that, notice that you're pressing into the center of the ball of each foot. That's Yang Quan. That's your earth gateway. That's the opening, the doorway to the portal that energy flows from the earth into your body. And then let your heels lower down and let them sink. Feel heavy in the heels. And feel the balls of the feet also heavy as you just start to spread your toes apart. Maybe they'll lift up a little bit from the ground. And as the toes lift, you also activate Yang Quan, your earth gateway, at the center of each ball of the foot. And then let the toes come down so your feet are fully relaxed and they feel really heavy. You sense the contact point that you have with earth here below you. So first thing is to ground, connecting to the energy below. And the next step is to rise. So with your mind or your imagination, either one is good. Sense the feeling of energy flowing up from your footprints, up through both legs, past the knees, into the thighs, into the pelvis. The pelvis is like a bowl, so energy can pool and settle there. Feel heaviness in your seat where you're contacting your chair. Again, a sense of being grounded. And then continue to feel the energy rising up from your tailbone along the spinal column, both in the front of the vertebra and in the back of the vertebra. And as you feel the movement of energy rising up, maybe you sit up a little taller. Not by lifting your shoulders, but by feeling the activation along your spinal column and the muscles that support it. From the base of the tailbone, all the way up through the body, through the center of your heart. Feeling the chest and the upper back rising, and the shoulders staying down and relaxed, and the hands feeling heavier in your lap. And then feel the neck getting a little longer and taller, keeping the chin level with the earth. And then all the way through the skull, let the energy feel like it's moving right through the center of your cranium and out the fontanelle, the crown of your head, the soft spot that we have when we're a baby, is our heaven gateway, Niwangang. So we ground and we rise and we breathe, feeling your whole body now alive with chi, the energy of life that flows, that rides the breath and moves through all the channels, the meridians in your body, tens of thousands of them. It's like the fiber optic system of the bioelectrical energy that animates you. So spending a few moments just experiencing yourself, the felt presence of yourself embodied, but not in a solid, hard, closed, contracted, or physical way, but in an energetic, open, vibrant, light-filled, floating, ascending way, expanding energy throughout your body and remembering that your skin is not a boundary. Energy flows through everything. So the energy that you're waking up inside of you is not staying contained either. It's flowing from you. You have a signal that you send out in all directions. And you let that signal, that's your own personal frequency, go out into the field, the ocean of energy that's surrounding us. And the energy moves in all directions. So we can feel our energy perhaps inside, moving out of us into the field around us. We create an auric field. We call it the aura. And it's just a reservoir of energy that collects around living things. So you might feel that sense of your own auric field that's hovering around your body, like a little invisible force field. And you may also begin to notice what flows in from that ocean of energy that we all live in. You might start to feel sensations that are coming from beyond your physical body, from the field. We do it all the time, whether we're noticing it or not. But this is an opportunity to really tap into what's happening now in the energetic realm. It's in the slowness and in the stillness and in the relaxation that we open up and really awaken to what's truly going on. We live in a vibrational universe. I don't think I have to tell too many of you that. I feel like I'm speaking to many or all of you who know this. But let's just take a few more moments together as a group, having a personal experience of what we're really all about, how life really works. Not in a thinking way, but in a feeling way. Direct experience of this present moment as you take a few more slow, relaxed breaths in and out. Sensations often feel like vibration because they are. You might feel your own pulsation from the heart beating inside of you. When we really look inside, we can more easily connect to that beating of the heart, that which keeps us alive. It's creating a rhythm pattern inside us. It's subtle. So just take a moment to dive a little deeper and notice if you can sense that heartbeat rhythm in you. Maybe there's a gurgling in your tummy, or some other part of your body is also sending out a signal of some kind. There's so much going on in the slow lane when we stop being externally focused and tune in. And then we can open our boundaries even further as we allow the vibration of sound coming from around us. That's also part of you. It is you because it's in your experience. So how could it be separate? It's not. The birds, the building settling, the movement of the leaves in the breeze, distant voices, my voice. It's all here and now, direct experience. How could you possibly be bored or feel separate when this is what's really happening? Last few moments, last few breaths. Let yourself absorb the experience as you relax. One more slow, deep breath inhale. Take your time, never rush the breath. And as you exhale, part your lips a little and make a soft whispering sound of the out breath. And we'll do that together 2 more times. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And once again. And at the end of that exhale, let your chin lower down as if you're offering your own heart a bow. Lift your hands, place the palms together, bring them close to the front of your heart, the center of the sternum, the heart center, not the beating heart, but the energetic heart. And when you're feeling ready to slowly, gradually start to blink open your eyes, see if you can maintain a sense of that inner experience, even as you bring more awareness and attention into this room and what's happening. Rub your palms together, Lao Gong. Yeah, the hands are portals for energy too. We all have healing hands. They're not just for a few special people. Everybody can feel the warmth in their hands as they circle them as you open your Lao Gong. Mm-hmm. And then sit up a little taller and we'll fortify our own heart chi, our own heart center. So let your hands stay relaxed as you bring them into your auric field near the heart space, somewhere between the collarbones and above the chest. And just soften there for a few moments. And maybe you feel a sense of vibration or tingling energy flowing from your hands into your heart and from your heart through your hands. Feel your feet still connecting to the earth. Now bring your palms together again, give them a little rub, and let's raise the arms a little bit. Keep your shoulders relaxed, and just let the hands hover above the crown of your head in your auric field, as if you're sending a waterfall of chi all the way down, bringing heaven chi down through your body and letting it sink out into the soles of your feet and through the earth. Your whole body filled with light, which is energy. I like to think of our energy sinking not to the core of the earth because it doesn't stop there. It goes out the other side of the core and out the other side of the planet and back out into the universe where it came from, and it keeps going around and around and around, and we can't even fathom how it really moves. But there's no stopping. There's no beginning. There is no end. God is totality, wholeness, experience. On your next inhale, let your hands lift up and open the light that comes out of the crown of your head. Blink your eyes open softly. Keep your gaze down. And then let your arms float heavily down from the sky and rest them onto your legs. Again, feeling yourself grounded with your shoulders down. Just take a moment to maybe tell yourself with a word or two, how do you feel right now after having that little opportunity there? Because really, what I'm here to teach you is what you already know. I just want to wake it up in you this morning and throughout your life if you're sort of new to it. And then when you're feeling ready to be more attentive to the rest of us, open your eyes. I feel like I'm scratching my microphone here. I'm going to shift a little bit. Okay, what should we talk about? Let's go to the beach. I have so many things to say. I don't know how I'm going to consolidate it, but I'll. Like that better? Is that better? Oh, thank you. I hope I didn't scratch up all the recording. Yeah, so holy smokes. I had questions as a little kid. My family couldn't understand the questions, let alone give me answers. So I was a seeker, like I know many of you are. I sat on my first meditation cushion when I was 16. I just signed myself up for a week-long course because I wanted to know more than my family was showing me. And then when I was 19, I landed accidentally because yoga was not really around very much on a yoga mat, and it changed my life when I realized that as the teacher was teaching or guiding, my body was a few steps ahead of her. Like I would come out of a pose that she just taught us, and my body would lead me. I would follow the impulse of my body to do like a counter stretch, and then that would be what she did next. And it happened the whole hour, and I went, "What is going on here?" And it really, I was 19. This is in 1979 in Chatsworth, California, I think, somewhere down in the valley. Anyway, so my whole life has really been about waking up to the techniques of living energetically. We all do. It's really what we are. I think more and more that's coming out of the closet, that our 3D world can seem so solid and so fixed and so real and so cerebral. And really, we're having this full body experience. A lot of people have that quality of that ability to feel. I feel color. My brother smells color. He sees a color and he gets a certain, our senses, we use them in a very limited way. And school teaches us, well, you have 5 senses. Well, most of us know we have more than 5 senses, right? So it's really fun to play with this energy and to really, we're never done. There's no final pose in yoga, and there's no finality to how we can open up ourselves experientially in an energetic spacesuit in an energetic world. So through Tai Chi and yoga and meditation and all the other things that Stephen listed, among many others, it's my honor and my privilege and my joy to share my lifetime's worth of seeking and being with amazing teachers, with people that I get to influence. My life has really been led through intuition. And my 19 years on this island were totally intuitively based. This was not a plan. This was not an agenda. It wasn't a lifelong dream like Leah had to come here. I'd never even heard of the Big Island. And literally, Pele reached energetically across to Colorado, where I was living, into my home office in early winter of 2004, and she beckoned me here, and I went, "Huh? What's Pele?" And anyway, it's a long. We all have wonderful. I love hearing people's stories about how they got to this island, because I think the island is a particularly powerful place for guidance and intuition for those who are open to it. And so I have had not even prior to coming to the Big Island, I did so many things following my heart. And I said in my bio that I think went out in the newsletter, my grandfather was born in Port Said, Egypt, and my family line on my mother's side goes back many, many, many generations. My name Zett was my mother's middle name, and that came through her line. And the only reason they left Egypt and became Westerners was because we were Jewish. They were Jewish, and in the early 1900s, it wasn't safe or kosher to be Jewish in Egypt, so they fled. And so that's why my family line stopped there in my grandfather's years, and they moved out of that country. But that is my homeland, and he was my greatest teacher because he didn't teach with words. He didn't hardly said. I mean, he said a few things to me, like I remember he said, language is our poorest form of communication. And I was really little. I just got a body affirmation on that one. See what I mean, right? We're energetic. I didn't understand it then, but boy, do I get that now. And not only is language our poorest form of communication, English is probably one of the poorest forms of language because of its limitations and its connotations and whatnot. So really opening up energetically is how we get to live lives that are based through guidance and following our heart. So that's where I was getting at with my grandfather, because he lived from his heart. He was a passionate man, and he could also sit amongst chaos or lots of buzzing activity and just be the Buddha. He could just sit there, and I could just, as a little girl, again, I didn't understand, I didn't have words for it, but I could just feel his presence was so connected to something. He wasn't caught up in the scattering. He was really embodied, and he lived that way. And it was such a beautiful example for me. I had a lot of other examples rolling my eyes in my life, as many of us have had, your garden variety dysfunctionality in your families. I had plenty of that too, but thank goodness I had that example on that side of my family, because I always felt myself as energetic. I never was educated out of it through what they taught me in school about the body systems, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're there, right, but they're so much more there. And so I was really confused by seeing what most people and what the world and most educational systems were telling us was reality, when I had this whole other reality. So at this time, during these times when there's so much change and so much breaking apart of those seemingly solid or fixed realities, I just feel like this is really a gift to be alive right now, and to be able to share with others about this stuff. So ground, rise, and breathe, that was what that meditation was. And that's, I have just a few sort of catchphrases to share with you that you can take with you. And hopefully if they're new to you, utilize them. So anytime, anywhere, if you're feeling a lot of turmoil inside, or there's a lot of things going on outside, take a moment. If you can, if you're not driving actively, close your eyes, feel a sense of grounding, feel a sense of rising, and breathe. Simple. It's like pushing the reset button when your garbage disposal gets clogged or something. These are simple techniques, and they are ordinary. They're not woo-woo. It's not magic. It's not special for some of us, and it's so ordinary. I think that's why we missed it, because we're too busy being clever and smart and educated. I did not get a college education, by the way. I went to trade school instead, and my previous life was 20 years as a wallpaper hanger. A very energetic wallpaper hanger. I did a lot of feng shui for all my clients without them even knowing it. And I didn't even know I was doing it. I was just doing it because that's how I lived. And then in 2003, I changed my name, and I became more full-time in body work and massage and Tai Chi and yoga and all that. So ground, rise, and breathe is one of the principles. And I'm going to be giving a 90-minute class workshop this afternoon, and we'll dive deeper into these things, but I want to leave some tidbits with you as well. The other one that I love to use a lot and that I say a lot is energy flows where attention goes. And hopefully in that, my hope is that in that guided meditation I started you with, that you were aware that where you put your mind, when your eyes are not looking outside of yourself, but inside of yourself, wherever your mind goes, that's where the energy is enhanced. And I'm going to do a little practice let's do that right now. Let's do this little practice. Some of you may have heard of Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breathing, which is a yogic practice. And typically it's done where you actually close one nostril. So just try that. Take your thumb, your right thumb, close your right nostril, breathe in through your left, and feel the power of just the left nostril breathing in. And then close your left nostril and breathe out powerfully through the right nostril. Now keep this closed. Breathe in through the right. Close the right, breathe out through the left. And we'll just stop there, just one round. So that's another little technique you can do anytime, anywhere to balance your masculine, feminine, right and left brain. Just bring yourself back into balance. You can do many rounds of that. But here's the cool thing I learned recently, because I'm never done learning. I love being a student. In fact, I'm more fond of being a student of yoga, I think, than being a teacher, or similar. But I love learning more. So what I learned recently from a teacher is that you don't even need to close your nostril. Let's just try this. Settle down into your feet. Rise your energy up. Close your eyes. Take a few moments of just breathing, feeling the breath coming in through both nostrils. So there might be a sense of equality. Both nostrils are receiving the breath and releasing the breath. Do that one more time. Inhale through both nostrils and let it go slowly. Now focus your attention just on your left nostril and focus the breath just coming in through the left side. At the top of that inhale, focus on your right nostril, releasing the breath back out. And at the bottom of that exhale, breathe into the right nostril, focusing on it with your mind. And then switch. Breathe out of the left nostril. It's subtle. So let's do it one more time. Maybe you'll feel a little stronger this time. Inhale through the left, focusing your mind on the left nostril. Make the switch. Exhale through the right, putting your mind on that right side. And we'll come back. Inhale through the right. And exhale through the left. And when you're done, just resume a natural breath through both sides. And open your eyes. Any yeses on that? Okay, good. Isn't that cool? So energy flows where attention goes. Really, really important to look at that. I was a competitive bike racer for a while, street bikes, skinny tired bikes. And I had a coach who taught me the pothole theory. And it's basically energy flows where attention goes. So I'm screaming down the hill at 40 miles an hour, riding a skinny tire bike, and you see a pothole or an obstacle in the road in front of you. The last thing you want to do is look at it so you don't hit it. Because if you're looking at it, you're going to hit it. So because energy flows where attention goes. So he would tell me, he goes, you don't want to look 4 feet off the highway into the weeds, because you'll end up there. He's just an inch, half an inch, just the width of your tire away from what you don't want to hit, and you'll go there every time. And it totally worked. And this was back in my mid-20s, and I was not nearly as aware then as I am now. And I thought that was so cool. And as as I've lived through that, I realized how profound that is for anything. And especially in these times, I'll bring it in today's times, especially in these times when there's so much information, news. What are your news sources? So what you're looking at is what your life is. There's also so many different realities and worlds available to us now. It's like having these new satellite TVs that have, I don't know, I've never had a TV, 200 stations or something now. I mean, you can have anything streaming in to your experience. And I believe it's the same thing in the macrocosm, that what you're looking at, what you're paying attention to is your reality. So choose wisely, grasshopper. What is it that you want? I really learned this lesson dynamically at the beginning of 2020, when things got weirder in the world. Because I got sucked down a few rabbit holes, try as I might. I've not much been a mainstream media kind of person, or even an alternative news kind of person, if it didn't feel good or I didn't want to didn't feel like it was something I had to pay attention to or was important to me. But I was concerned, like all of us were, about all the stuff that was happening. And so I looked at a few things, and it only took a couple of months for me to realize, whoa, Nellie, I could just feel my vibration, my signal, my frequency was really not in a good place. It felt lousy inside me, and I knew that I was not broadcasting a very good signal either. I could see my life turning away from the heart base and into fear base. And I went, okay, what do I have to do to stop that? And I had to change my attention so that I could change my signal. And that's how it works. Don't look at what you don't want. Look at what you do want. And this ties in with quantum theory, and it ties in with Abraham Hicks, who was also another early teacher of mine back in 89. Was that? Can't remember, a long time ago. And so that's really a key, another key that we can bring into our lives, is to really pay attention to what we look at, what we read, who we're with. Doesn't mean to shut yourself up or sanitize your world to the point where you're only being influenced by the things that are pleasant or uplifting. But if you're strong enough, if your dominant vibration, if your dominant signal is that of joy and upliftment and positivity and light and love and all of that, then when those other channels or frequencies come in too, they're not going to pull you down because you have a dominant signal. It's really no different from your radio dial on the stereo, in that there's how many different stations are there, and what you get is where you tune your dial. It doesn't mean the other stations disappear. It just means they're not in your awareness because you're not looking at them. You've tuned your dial. So attunement and alignment, I think that's what creates miracles, by the way. Not creates, that makes miracles ordinary. I think miracles are ordinary too. I don't think they're unusual. I think they're a byproduct of alignment. When we're in alignment, we're going to get what we're aligned with. And that becomes our reality. And when we are following our hearts and living from our hearts and caring enough about what we do and who we talk to and what our words are, words are so important. Everything carries a vibration and a frequency. And so it's really, details matter. We really do. And so we can constantly be calibrating. That's a new Abraham Hicks word, I think came out a few years ago. Calibration. Yeah, calibrate. And again, this is physics. I mean, these laws, the principles that I offer in Tai Chi, and they are so interwoven with yoga, and the principles of Abraham Hicks and A Course in Miracles, and they're all universal principles, and they're all pointing to the same thing and reminding us of the same thing that is our birthright. And in these times, I know we hear that expression a lot, but let's face it, folks, it is a more interesting time on the planet than ever I think in most of our lifetimes. It's more important than ever to mind our signal, to mind our frequency, not just for ourselves, but because what ultimately is good for us is what we're going to be sharing with others, as within, so without, right? Yeah. Yeah. I feel so good, and I feel like I'm with my Kula here. You guys are my family. That's great. Let's see, anything else? So you got the ground, rise, breathe. You got the energy flows where attention goes. That's another really these are little takeaways. I wanted to make sure I brought up in this shorter thing. Let's see if there's anything else. No. Okay, I think that's all sort of the principles talking. You want to do a little more practice, a little more fun stuff? Okay. So let's just vibration. Oh, here, that's the other. Oh, I almost forgot the most important one. Vibration breaks up stagnation. Okay, y'all have heard of what is it? Emotional freedom technique, tapping. So what is vibration? Breaking a glass with your voice? What breaks a glass? Vibration. It's breaking up the solidity of the glass by bursting it open. Okay, now just let your feet stop. Do you notice any tingling inside you? The echo, the reverberation? Okay. Now let's tap the heart. This is a lovely little thing to do. I know there's a whole, I've only dabbled in EFT, and I know there's specific points in that. I can't do it all, right? I'm sticking to Tai Chi and yoga at the moment. I'm focusing on that. But vibration is just a great thing to do. This is and one more thing I'm going to show you with the heart space that I absolutely love, and it's a big part of the Tai Chi. So cross your thumbs, left hand closer to you because your left hand side is your heart protecting side. So when you cross your thumbs, put them right in the center of your sternum, right at the heart space, and then let your hands, your fingers relax on your chest. This is called the butterfly mudra. Although I gave a talk to Parker Ranch employees a few months ago, and I knew butterfly wasn't going to go over very well with these cowboys. So I called it the eagle. This is the eagle mudra. Anything that has wings is fine. Flutter your wings. How does that feel? Feels pretty good. It's so uplifting. And if you're already feeling uplifted, it's just like a way to say, wow, I can just radiate my love out into the world. And when you're feeling really blue or down or just stuck or asleep or whatever, it's a lovely thing. So another takeaway, butterfly mudra, eagle mudra, condor, whatever, dragonfly. Okay, here we go. Bring it down. Feel any echo inside there? Okay, good. We'll do the full body and all the other tappings this afternoon for those of you who care to. But I want to do a few more things with our heart because we certainly know how important it is to live from here. And in the yogic model, which is very much aligned with the chakra system, the spinal column, the sushumna, and the chakra system. So there's 7 major chakras along the spine. There's 3 below the heart, and there's 3 above the heart. So what does that make the heart? The center, the balance. So does living from the heart really make that much more sense? The chakras below the heart are the manifesting earth chakras. They're the things that, and of course, Hawaii Island is the root chakra, earth chakra of the island chain because it's at the bottom, manifesting new life, new earth, I mean. And then the manifesting current goes up to the heart and it mixes with the ascending current, that which comes up into the voice and into the third eye and into the heaven gateway. So it's like heaven and earth mix in the heart. So here we are, creatures, physical creatures in a human spacesuit that we're really the whole universe. And this is such a powerful way to live and a true, authentic way to live when we're not just stuck in the 3D. I made a lot of money and I had a lot of kids or whatever, good car, any of that. And we're not just airy fairy, pardon the expression, visionary. I mean, that's all good too. They're both good, but balance is what we're looking for, right? I find more and more balance is the key to my life. So balancing the energies in the heart. So a few more things for the heart. So rub your palms, sit up tall, and your heart naturally lifts and opens. This is called Buddha hands. I love this one. So hold your thumbs right at the sternum. Good. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let your Buddha hands open out into the world with your fingers pointing up at the heavens. And then inhale, bring the cosmic energy back into your beautiful heart. Let it shine inside, and then exhale again. Expand and radiate your heart light into the world. Close your eyes and we'll do one more of those. Slowly inhale, gathering chi into the heart space. Exhale, expanding the chi away from your heart, but staying in the flow. Inhale, bring the energy back together at the heart. And then exhale and relax. Good. Okay. Can't believe how quickly time flies. Before I do the closing guided meditation, embodied meditation, I just had this flashback of I was actually doing a program, an outline for a yoga program I was doing, a yin yoga, which I do. I combine a yin yoga class with gong bath once a month. It's incredible. Oh my gosh. Because as your body opens and your channels open and then you got all this vibration coming in at the same time. Wow. Really good stuff. I have I won't go into my whole schedule now. I don't want to take up your time with that. But if you're interested in my schedule, I do privates. I have a home studio just on the dry side of Waimea, and I have classes various places. There you can give me your contact information and I'll send you more, and I'll put some cards out there too. I have a website. I have my Tai Chi forms are on beautiful videos. I had a friend film in Puako on the coast, and they're free. Please just use them. These teachings, these sharings, I should say, they're offered freely. because they're priceless and they're really for everybody. And then I work more on a donation basis, as well as I work in the money world and also in donation basis. But I had this flashback because I was thinking about connective tissues opening and the yin, through the yin practice and the energy flowing and making space between my bones, because as connective tissues soften and open and the channels open, the bones actually separate a little bit. So if you've got, impacted discs or bones jamming or jarring, it can bring a little more feeling of space in the body. And then all of a sudden I had this flashback of a song lyric from my teens. I don't remember, maybe one of you can remember who it was and what the sparks flew from her fingertips. Do you remember that? Sparks flew from her. Anyway, there's something for you to take, a riddle to take home and think about. I haven't played it. But I like to think of that, right? Sparks flying from our fingertips. Really, our whole body is a signal. But our hands are so powerful with our Laogong centers here and then our fingers and our hands. And that's why when I love to watch Simba and playing and musicians playing and whenever we use our fingers, it's really activation. And in the Tai Chi principles, which I'll go over this afternoon in more depth, the energy comes up from the ground, the legs move the energy, the waist and the torso reflect the energy first, and then the final expression is out from the hands, and then sparks fly from your fingertips. So we can literally maybe feel into that a little bit more this afternoon. Okay, that was just a teaser on today's class. I'm going to honor the time here, so let's just go ahead and we'll take the last 2 minutes I'm going to lead you through the microcosmic orbit. How does that sound? Okay, we'll go traveling through your inner space. Okay, so settle into your feet. And let's look at them this time. Let's bring the eyes down. Make sure your toes line up straight across. And then pick up your heels, and that presses Yang Quan, your earth gateway, down into the ground, activating that portal. And then lower the heels down. Spread your toes. They might lift a little as they separate. And then let them come down. So you've just found your footprints. Now let your hands relax the way you like them. Bring your chest up. Level your chin with the earth. Sit up tall, or let the energy rise up your spine and out the crown of your head. And begin to notice a natural breath flowing in and out through both nostrils. And take your mind, your consciousness is already throughout your body, but take your mind, your attention to the base of your spine. And we're going to come up the back of the spine. On the next inhale, follow the breath with your mind or with your inner sight up the back of your spine, up the back of your skull, and over the crown of your head. And as you exhale, let the breath flow down the front of your face and the front of your spine, between your thighs, underneath your perineum, orbiting the first time. Inhale up the back of your spine, along the back of the skull, over the crown of the head. Exhale, come down the front body, through the inner thighs, beneath the tailbone, the perineum. Inhale up the back of the spine, orbiting your entire Sushumna, your human energy channel. Exhale down the front. And then go off on your own. Take your own timing, 3 more rounds of the microcosmic orbit. And after that 3rd round, no rush. Whenever you're done, just resume a natural breath with your awareness in your body. Notice any effects of your microcosmic orbit. Start to wiggle your fingers. Rub the tips of your thumbs and your fingers together so you can have the openings that lets sparks fly out of your fingertips. And then let's close with our condor butterfly mudra. Cross your thumbs, rest them on your chest in the middle. Relax your hands across both sides of the chest. Your left hand is touching your body, the right hand is on top. And then flutter your wings. Thank yourself for being here and being open and present. I hope hope something I shared with you today is useful. Thank you all for being here and sharing your presence with me. It's such a delight to be in community. Yeah. And then when you're finished, just let your hands relax and open your eyes slowly. Bring your palms together, touch your third eye, and we'll close with a bow. Mahalo Piha. Thank you from my heart. I love that. Is that the Sufi way of applauding? Okay, sorry, I went a few minutes. Thank you. I like perfect.
Thank you. That was just, for me, it was so incredible. For all of us, we really appreciated the being reminded of what we already know. And we really need to learn to keep reminding each other, and then we'll all get there. So great job. Thank you for going as long as you did. And you did a great job. It was very inspiring the whole time. It wasn't just a filler. So, yeah. We I would start the announcements now, but Paul Mackay, would this be, doesn't work this way? Try it. Okay. Yeah. Would either Pasha or Paul Mackay, could you be willing to do the blessing, or is that you kind of remember who the people involved were, the prayer circle. Okay. That'll be held after the closing song. And you didn't say your workshop's at 1:30 out here at the Lanai. And is there a sign up table yet out there? I guess is it right over here, or it's over there? Sliding scale. That's a great offer. Yeah. Up at New Thought of Hawaii. Sunday services, of course, start at 10. In person here at the center and by live stream video, which has been improved, I believe, which is on YouTube. We have free childcare, but we need reservations for childcare by Friday, please, the day before the Sunday. On the next two Sundays, 10:22, Reverend Libby O'Day, yay. Lahaina Strong, How to Survive and Thrive When Disaster Strikes will be her topic. And music by Benjamin Marantz. He's a great, fun musician. 10:29, Kamaina Lighthawk will be doing a program and music both. Aloha Amakua. Communicating with your ancestors and those on the other side. We have weekly classes here, Mondays at 4:30 to 5:30, a Tai Chi class with Jen Ann Wong out here on the Lanai. Monthly events, the Crystal Bowl, second Sunday of each month from 9 to 9:30. Next one will be November 12th. And also at the last Sunday, end of each month, we have a potluck. The next one's on the 29th of this month. The workshop today, ZettElyss Amora will be doing the 13 principles of movement, Tai Chi, unique style of Tai Chi, 1:30 to 3 on the lanai. It's a 10 to 25 sliding scale. But as she said, don't let money stand in the way. The more energy here, the better. Sunday on 10/22, Libio Day will be doing a workshop. What is prayer ministry? Goals, benefits, methods, training in the Hanua room, which is right next door, from 1:30 to 2:30 with love offering. We have service opportunities here to help us with various things like setting up the potluck, cleaning up, organizing supplies. We give our speakers a lay every Sunday, and the lay ministry is being done mostly by Patty Wall. She's great at it, but you need more people to help out. You can see Patty for details. Sunday service volunteers, greeters, set up, clean up, tech help. To volunteer for anything, click reply to your NTCH newsletter. And to be on our New Thought or No Thought mailing list, sign the guest book to get a weekly e-letter or sign up on the website, www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. I neglected to. Now we're going to pass the coal bowl. So if you would appreciate supporting New Thought
And music from our musicians.
have an opportunity for that. If you could just play some nice giving background music, we'd appreciate it.
That was a Queen song.
That was nice. It's all ending perfectly for the day. Thank you for your donations. We bless this with appreciation, knowing that as supporting New Thought, we remind each other of what's really important, things we already know, and this goes towards reminding the world at large what they have forgotten, but they already know. Amen. We're going to take our speaker out to lunch at the local Ohana Kitchen today, and I'd like to know how many other people would like to join us at the show of hands, maybe like one on a home kitchen. It's basically Chinese, but they do have vegetarian dishes. So maybe 3, myself, 5. All right. Now we're going to sing the closing song. We'd like to close with reminding you what you already know. Arouse joy in others, and you will feel it. So now we're going to stand for the closing song. Hawaii Aloha. We could join hands.
Before we do standing in the light, I would just like to say a word about our next week. And that we'll be introducing a new service, which is an old service, which is prayer ministry. And we're inviting everyone to join the prayer team. But there will be a 4-session training on how to pray for others most effectively. Now, next week, I'm speaking on being a survivor of the Lahaina situation, as we all are, but that's what brought me back to the Big Island. And what do we do as light workers so that in these times of disaster, we can ground and rise and envision a new future for ourselves and improve the planet, because that's what we're called to do, and that's what I'm speaking about. So we're creating this circle of love, this circle of one heart, all of us, all beating with that same heart. And within that heart are all the people that we love and hold dear. And in this circle, we hold them in our heart. And as we bring their presence, we ask for their wellness, for their wholeness, for their lightness, for their energy, for their beauty, for their kindness, for their hearts to be fully present, fully full of joy and love, fully in the healing light of the all that is, as the all that is. It is done that way, and so it is. And so each person now can speak into the circle the name of anyone that they particularly want a prayer for, and that prayer will be released into being done. So I speak my word for Sarah and for Faith. I speak for Beth and for Michael and for Diane. I speak for Tiffany and Melanie. I speak for Stacy. I speak for Ada Vanessa. I Sage, Tasha. I speak for Betty, Carol, Farnham, and Jim. I speak for Jimmy and Alex. I speak for Patty and Lindsay also.
Hey, is that now?
I speak for Simon. I speak for Kyle. I speak for Kurt and Megan and Faith. Bruce, Orlando. I speak for Jamie Senior, Travel and everything. I speak for Guy. Because we have spoken these words of these beings into the circle, we hold them in our heart, and we allow the Spirit, the Great Spirit, the infinite Creator, the all that is, to bless them in every way. And we offer this up, and we let it go, knowing that it is done, and all together we can say, and so it is.